Hi everyone, this is Revolution Ricky here in my house and in my office at Casa de Revolution, here to do a collection video of sorts, which I'm going to entitle Ricky's Scavenger Hunt. I am trying something new with my videos. Instead of filming them on my phone, which I've been doing for the past year and a half, I'm now using my wife's computer. And so this is just a little bit of an experiment, but we'll see how it goes. And if you would please bear with me as I learn this new thing. I'm so used to doing this on my phone that it basically took up all my time. But I had just broke my selfie tripod stick, so just bear with me. Anyway, if you would please hit like, subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, I went to the record store this past week and bought the majority of what I bought, well, all of that I have bought, were singles, 45s. So I'm going to show them off. I'm going to start with the lamest one, I think, first. I mean, it's a whole mess. It's punk rock, but it's okay. It's not one of my favorites. It's by Mosquito Bandito. Woo Woo Woo. It's a 4 song EP. I thought it looked good. Has the songs uh, Satan and NMTP Art School and Holy Hot Shit. Um, Probably gonna bleep it out. This is really not for me. I didn't couldn't get into it, and it was okay, but not my favorite purchase. I mean, there's a lot of more purchases I made on here, but this is what I bought, and I really didn't care for it. Um, go ahead with the other stuff. Picked up Huey Lewis in the News, Jacob's Ladder. Um, Looks like it's a promo item, not a white label, but it was phenomenal shape. All these records were relatively cheap, like maybe $2 or $3, and I really like stuff like this. And another record I got was by Huey Lewis in the News. I know what I like. Another promotional item here. This one with this Chrysalis sleeve. I've always liked Chrysalis records. They came out, years ago. They had the Vinnie Vincent Invasion album they put out, which I really did like. A few others. Um, like I said, I bought like maybe 10, maybe even more. I'll start off with the heavy metal stuff because I picked up some metal records too, some glam metal records. Let me put these right here for a minute. Um, this one has a story behind it. Aerosmith's Angel. Uh, Very good record. Came out when I was like maybe 17. It's really, really good. There's a lot of history with this record in me. Well, the song. Uh, when I was younger, I frequently watched MTV. At the time, it stood for music television and not maternity ward television. And I had a dream the previous night. It was me and this one girl who was on a bus. And the one girl, we were, I guess we hooked up on the bus. And fell in love, and we were on the bus for a couple of days, and finally she had to get off the bus and get to her stop, and I was going on somewhere else, and I told her, please don't leave me, and she was like, I have to. And the morning that I woke up, the dream really got to me, and I had turned on MTV, and they were premiering a new video by Aerosmith called Angel, and I really had was really the dream really got to me, and I still remember this dream to this day, 40 something years late, almost 40 years later. Um, it really impacted me, and it kind of made me stop and think. I wish I really had a girlfriend, or was in a relationship with a girlfriend. That didn't happen until maybe a year later when I met my first love. She knows who she is, but Angel has always had a special place in my heart, and I picked this up really cheap, and I'm glad I did. So, Angel by Aerosmith. And I picked up Blue Murder's Jelly Roll. Uh, Love Will Break Your Heart. Um, really liked John Sykes. So bad, it's so sad that he passed away. Maybe a year or two later. That Blue Murder was a great song, great three-piece band. Like it had Carmine Apiece, and he was in Vanilla Fudge, King Cobra. Um, he was in Ozzy's solo band for a while, and then you had Tony Franklin, who was in The Firm with Jimmy Page and uh, Paul Rogers and Chris Slade. Um, I really did like this song. It was the better songs of any of the Blue Murder singles, so I picked this one up. Uh, the Bullet Boys, Smooth Up. I really did like this one. Really liked the Bullet Boys. My sister and me really liked them. Thought the singer kind of looked like Elvis a little bit, but with long blonde hair. And my sister pointed it out one year, and I was like, I don't know, but I really liked the Bullet Boys when I was growing up, and picked this one up. It was uh, a really good single. It's the LP version. So I got the cassette somewhere. I still had it, and I should get the CD because I really did like the Bullet Boys, to say the least. Um, like I said, I picked these up for relatively cheap. They're like maybe $2, $3, maybe even $1 a piece. Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine. I also picked this one up. This was a good one. Really, I saw Bon Jovi and Skid Row back in 1989 with some friends of mine, and it's backed with 99 in the Shade. Didn't ever hear this album, but every time that came to that middle part of the song, when Tico Torres is hitting the bass drum, I always turned it up. Kind of like with Aerosmith's Living on the Edge, when they came with that, I would always turn it up when they had that bass drum in it. So I picked this one up. This was more or less my why I loved uh, glam metal when I was younger, and I still do to a certain extent. So I picked up Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was a very good band. I would listen to a lot. Loved the Slippery When Wet album. Picked up Foreigners, Double Vision, which is a good song. Um, Came off of the LP Double Vision, which I got. I got a CD box set of them. And some of these were promos, and some of them were not. Um, but I did like Double Vision. I like Foreigner. I love Foreigner. The first Foreigner album I ever owned was a cassette copy of Agent Provocatura. And that was a good album because it had these songs. That was Yesterday and I Want to Know What Love Is. And, it was just a good old CD. And now Lou Graham's back in Foreigner, which is good. This one actually came out when I was like maybe 12 or 13, and it made me laugh all the time. Uh, it's by the Jump and Saddle Band, the Curly Shuffle. I'm a big Three Stooges fan, and this was a promo item that it's got the single, the white label, the stereo version of Curly Shuffle, and the mono version, and it was very relatively cheap. Um, you don't hear nothing about. I guess this was a novelty song, which was good because I liked it, and I was like maybe 12 or 13 when it came out, and I really liked the song "The Curly Shuffle." Um, Also, bought a country uh, record. Found this because I was watching a documentary, a 60 minutes documentary from like, oh God, from years ago, and the one of it was from Loretta Lynn, and I picked up One Little Reason, or To Make a Man Feel Like a Man. I don't know what A or B side this is, and I wasn't really too concerned with it. I just picked it up because it was Loretta Lynn, and I watched that documentary, and I've always respected Loretta Lynn. I didn't really listen to her music a lot when I was growing up, but my grandmother did. Uh, I was more of a Patsy Cline, which Loretta Lynn got her start with her. So I picked this one up. And all these were like a dollar, anywhere from $1 to $3. I think the most expensive one I picked up was for like $10. And this one was actually my wife's. These last two are my wife's. Uh, this one, I've Done Everything for You from Rick Springfield. It's a promo copy. It's got the stereo version of I've Done Everything for You and the mono version of it. All these, like I said, were relatively cheap. And when I go to a record store, I always pick up something for the missus, or else she'll hit me with this thing called the Ricky Keep in Line device. I'm kidding. I better not say anything. She's in the other room. And I picked up one by accident because I figured she was a big fan of the group, the pop rock band Wham. I never knew that she did not like this song. George Michael's I Want Your Sex. Uh, she hates the song, and I can't blame her too much. It was my mistake. So I picked this up, and it was a the Rhythm 1 and Rhythm 2 Brass and Love uh, copy. Figured it would go with her George Michael and Wham collection. She don't have to play it. Let's see now. Of course, we'll move into the final stretch here. Gotta get some more out of my desk here. Uh, these, this one actually surprised me because I was in the record store a couple months back, and I never owned a test pressing. I figured, well, test pressings were rare. Um, they're like 15, 20 copies each of the pressing, but my cousin Ashley will probably be shocked at this one because I don't listen to too much R&B at all growing up, and I couldn't stand it in the '90s when it was so running so rampant, like with Janet Jackson and Destiny's Child and all that other stuff that I would never listen to. But it's a test pressing of Touch of Four Leaf Clover by Atlantic Star. Uh, I figured if it was back, it was still in there, I would go ahead and pick it up. So I saw it, I went ahead and picked it up, and I listened to it, and it was not half bad. Of course, Atlantic Star was the R&B group that came out with a mid '80s song called "Always," you know, which was probably synonymous with all the teen proms going up in the '80s, and I figured, well, why not? A test pressing, I don't own any of them, so I would. This is going into my collection, which never owned a test pressing. Was contemplating buying the Melissa Etheridge ones from Sun Records, but they're too expensive. So here we go. Test pressing of Atlantic Stars. Touch of Four Leaf Clover. And my cousin Ashley would probably be jealous. Okay, we're winding down here. Go ahead and let's see. I'll show off. Uh, I'll show off the Elvis ones first. I always have to get an Elvis one. Found a great copy of "Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear," backed with "Loving You." And this one was in phenomenal shape. I was so surprised. It's probably a repressing. I mean, I really don't know, but it was such in great shape. And it's probably a repressing. I'm not real sure. Uh, and, there's that. Uh, that was not really, I was really surprised to find this one. Uh, just do it this way. Uh, and I also picked up um, uh, Way Down. Love this song. This was the final song that I remember for years. My aunt had this song in her collection of 45s because we didn't have the Moody Blue album, but we had this, and I think it came out around the time Elvis passed. And the record um, is in phenomenal shape. The one I owned for years had a lamination crack in it, and there's that. And it's called, and it's backed with "Pleading My Love." Um, this one actually was the most expensive, the more expensive of the bunch, and it cost me like $10. I was like, okay, I didn't own a good record of it. And then he had a bunch of Elvis records that I really did like, but I didn't pick any of them up, but two of them. And I found a few, like maybe, yeah, two Sun Records later versions of Sun Records. This one surprised me. This one really surprised me. It's the Gentry Cinnamon Girl. Yeah, Cinnamon Girl, backed with I Just Got the News. Cinnamon Girl, of course, being the classic Neil Young hit. It's This was by the Gentrys, of course. The Gentrys, from synonymous with Jimmy Hart, who was later became manager in the Mid South area of wrestlers, Austin Idol, He managed Andy Kaufman and managed Jerry Lawler and went on to the WWE to manage the Hart Foundation, Money Inc., the Natural Disasters, the Nasty Boys, um, the Honky Tonk Man, who was at the time the reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, and was vocalist for the Gentrys. And I really liked the Gentrys. If you really listen to them, they are that 1960s pop rock stuff, but the Gentrys on Sun label. If I ever meet Jimmy Hart, I'm going to have him autograph this. And I won't care where he signs it because I really do like the Gentrys. And I got another Gentrys 45 in there from MGM Records. But this is going in my Sun Records collection. And of course, I got uh, Jerry Lee Lewis, and this is a later Sun recording of, let's see, Invitation to Your Party, backed with I Can Never Be Ashamed of You. Uh, More or less country. I'm not really a big country music fan, but this was Sun Records, and I love Sun Records because of the story and the history. And I love Jerry Lee Lewis anyway, so, and really like getting these. And he had a few Sun singles. It wasn't like I didn't look. This will bring my Sun Records collection up because I really did been trying to get a collection going. I can't find the Elvis ones, even in repressings. So, but except for that, My Happiness one, which was a later pressing from a few years back. So when I got that, I didn't mind it. And of course, last but not least, um, promotion copy from MCA Records of Jerry Lee Lewis, My Fingers Do the Talking. And this was a upbeat rock tempo, early rock and roll type record. It's not from uh, Sun at all. It's just a great feel good record of Jerry Lee Lewis's later years in the 80s. And this was a good record. I really enjoyed it. You know, Jerry Lee Lewis went from country, and that was cool. But you know, this was basically all I picked up during the week. Um, Hopefully, I'll do more videos like this, get them out there, do a scavenger hunt. Um, Me and my wife went to last week to the Mobile Public Library book sale, and we picked up some books. And then we went on Monday and picked up a whole, like, 3 boxes full of books. They were $2. You fill a box up, pay a few dollars, and then you walk out with the books. But this is getting off subject, but we saw a couple um, coming out of the book sale, and they must have had like maybe 20 to 50 boxes full of books. I was like, good Lord. Maybe I should ask him if that Sam Phillips book was in there. I would have bought it from him because I checked out a Sam Phillips book from the library, but I never read it. I was going to read it on the last day, and nothing happened. So we had to take it back. We can only check out books one time via computer, and that's it. So we had to take it back. I'll probably get it. Plus, I bought a Carl Perkins book, so that'll pretty much sum that up. Um, but you know what? I just want to come on here and show y'all what I bought during my scavenger hunt. Um, hopefully I'll do more videos like this called Ricky's Scavenger Hunt, and hopefully you'll hit like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll show off more. I'm not going to show off any of the books I bought from the fill up box for $2 deal, because most of them, excuse me, live TV, cut me a break, uh, are basically anywhere. The books that I did get a few. One book was by Bruce Dickinson, the autobiography of the Iron Maiden singer, and the other books were country. I mean, more or less Western books like Louis L'Amour and William Johnston. I think that's his name. I picked those up for very relatively cheap. We just filled up a box and I just loaded up all those books because I bought one of those William Johnson books years ago and I was going to read it, but my foot had other ideas. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to sign off here. Um, just trying out this new thing on the computer with my wife's computer. Hopefully, this will continue on the computer instead of on the phone, because I gotta switch up all the phones, and sometimes the phone falls down. And the only computers I've got are these two computers right here that have the CD-ROM and then the DVD player in it, and it has a couple of games on here I like to play even to this day. But this computer and this computer screen we got is an ancient artifact. So we're going to work on this, and I'm going to hopefully produce more videos on the computer instead of on the phone. Well, this is Revolution Ricky signing off. Keep spinning that vinyl and the CDs. And I shall see you all again in the next video. Peace.